What's going on, Shady people? ShadyPenguinn here, and Sun and Moon trailer has just been released, at least for me, so I took the time, compiled some screenshots. If you guys want to watch the trailer yourself, please go down in the description. I'll put the link to the US and the UK one. I believe they're exactly the same, except for some very disappointing news at the end, but if you guys are hyped, please show some Shady love to that thumbs down below. I have a lot of questions. I watched this trailer over a dozen times now, just trying to break down and absorb everything that's in here, because Sun and Moon is coming 7th generation, and I gotta be honest, I had mixed feelings when I first saw the trailer, but I kept watching it, and getting more and more hype. Originally, I'm not gonna lie, I really didn't get blown away because maybe it's just because I just woke up, who knows? But I really want your guys' responses in the comment section below. So be sure to interact with this video. I really have a few questions for you guys that I really care about. I'm mainly making this video because, one, I know you guys are gonna ask for it. Two, I want to get my thoughts out there, and 3, more importantly, I want to hear your thoughts about my thoughts. I know it's kind of, I don't know, narcissistic. I don't know what it is, but we're gonna go ahead and jump right into this. We're gonna be showing some screenshots. The very first thing, obviously, of course, is the Sun and Moon logos that we have. Let me move all of this over here so that I don't look like I'm looking off into the distance. We have the Sun and Moon logos right here. Very pretty, very nice. I love the way the Sun and the Moon look together. Really cool, crisp. But we're not here for this. We're here for the very next screenshot. Hey, stop opening up over there. Oh my gosh, which is our character, our main character, standing in his room. Look at that skinny Pikachu doll. You know, Pokemon's really committing to this, to the skinny Pikachu idea. You know, but it's okay. It's okay. It's just been thinning out all year. It's no big deal. All these years. So the first thing that I notice when I look at this is that our character is wearing, he looks like Steve's cousin. He looks like he borrowed a shirt from Steve from Blue's Clues, and it's stripes, which is fine. But there's really nothing captivating about this main character. There's nothing unique, nothing stands out, which honestly is a good thing to me, because to me what that says is it makes me feel like me. I have nothing unique that makes me stand out, so I'm assuming that they're not going to make us look like that the entire game. I think the character customization is 100% going to be a thing in this game. The other thing I noticed is, look at this model. It's a pretty full model. It's a pretty full model. You can't see it here. We're gonna see it in a little bit. Like I said, watch the trailer. Honestly, watch the trailer and come back to here, because then you'll have your thoughts ready to go. But it's a full model, which is really cool. The room looks fine. The graphics, this is probably why I wasn't immediately blown away, because the graphics are very similar to X and Y besides the full modeling. Things look a little smoother when you watch the trailer, for sure. I'm not gonna lie. But this was one of the first times that Pokemon went to the next generation on the same console. So I know it's happened. I could be completely wrong. Maybe I am wrong. No, because originally we had Game Boy. Then it was on Game Boy, but it was it didn't matter that there wasn't a huge change, because there was 100 new Pokemon. You got to go to both regions. Color was implemented. Color was in yellow, of course, but it was a Game Boy Color cartridge, really, and then Crystal was a legitimate Game Boy Color cartridge. Then you went to Game Boy Advance for Fire Red, Leaf Green, more importantly, Ruby and Sapphire. Then you went to Nintendo DS for Platinum, Pearl, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Then you stayed on Nintendo DS, but the graphics just drastically changed. We went from having still sprites to animated sprites, so that was enough. That was enough for everyone. And the overworld got so smooth. Honestly, I love 4th gen graphics, so I'm not gonna say that it got smoother, but the battle animations changed so much in 5th gen, so it didn't feel like it was on the same console. Then of course went to 6th gen a few years back, and everything was overhauled. We were blessed by Arceus with just the most beautiful game in the world, and it's still on the DS. So I don't know why my expectations were so high for a new engine, but it looks like they did clean it up. Enough of this. We're just looking at one guy standing, and bam, this is more important. Okay. Kukui, welcome to paradise, cousin. This is the Alola region. So you guys are gonna see the region is very tropical, very much based on Hawaii, just by seeing him say cousin. Now, initially I was just like, yo, is that Tito? Is that Tito from Rocket Power saying, cuz, what up, cuz? Like, I think that's what it is. I don't think they're actually cousins. It could be, I guess, but I think it's more a play on culture where they would say cuz a lot. Very stereotypical, but maybe it's fact. I don't know. I've never been to Hawaii, so I really can't judge. But we can see this guy wearing what looks like a white lab coat with rolled up sleeves and a hat, and then some green glasses. So nothing too crazy about Kukui. I'm gonna mispronounce his name. Kukui. We're gonna go Kukui because it's harder to say, and let's just make it more difficult for myself. But nothing too crazy. Kukui. First thought that everyone has, is that a lab coat? Is that the professor? Is that the professor of this game? I personally don't think so, because one, I don't know if Normally when you have the text box, if it comes up Professor Kukui. I'm not sure, Kukui. Oh gosh, I'm not sure if it does, but more importantly, I looked up what kukui is, and it is it's basically a nut. There's kukui oil, which is oil from this specific nut. The region of the nut, unknown. I'm sure you can find it on the internet. Use Google. I want to encourage you guys to seek out information like I did. Unfortunately, I didn't go deep enough, but it's not a tree. More importantly, it's not oak, it's not elm, it's not bark, it's nothing like that. So, well, Barktown is calm down. It's not a tree, it's a nut. So it'd be really weird if after 6 generations, all of a sudden Pokemon decides, you know what? We're switching from trees, we're going to nuts. I wouldn't be a fan. So we're gonna pretend that's not the case. So then we just get another screenshot. You'll see your player, your character running. I can't stress enough, go watch the trailer because you'll see the running animation. I actually think it's kind of funny. He looks kind of yaggly. The characters look a little yaggly because they're full models, I guess, which is what Pokemon wanted to avoid with X and Y and Oris. But to me, they look a little yaggly, and I can appreciate that because I myself am a yaggly runner. So region looks beautiful. Like I said, very similar to X and Y. A lot more lush, which is interesting because X and Y was all about beauty, and now we're in, as Kukui said, paradise. Welcome to paradise. So gonna be really interesting how that plays out story-wise. I'm gonna come back to that in a little bit, I believe. So the next screenshot we see, bam! Kukui and Old Man Jenkins over here. Now it's literally Tito as a grandfather. This guy looks, first of all, to me, he looks like he's in the Elite Four. That was my initial thought. I was like, wow, okay, Elite Four guy in the beginning of the game, I can dig that. Look at his eyes. He's got so much wisdom, and that stash going straight up. It's beautiful. We get no other information about this guy. We don't get his name. We don't get his age. Well, clearly he's older, but he looks like he looks important, right? He looks important. You want to know why he looks important? Because bam, he's got 3 Pokeballs in his hand and he's about to chuck them at your face. And he actually gives us you can see the fan in his belt. Look at that. That's kind of dope. He gives us our starter. So my thoughts, yes, this is the professor, and it makes sense in Hawaii for the professor to be a little bit more casual. You know, he's laid back. I mean, if you look at, actually no other professor, I wouldn't say he's casual. I'm trying to think of like a more friendly professor. Sycamore kind of was a bit more laid back, I guess, but he was also foreign. This guy just looks like he's ready to chill out by the sea all the time, but he also looks like he's ready to like kick butt. Like this guy trained the 3 ninjas. That's what it looks like to me. But he's got the 3 Pokeballs, and you guys are gonna see right now, these are the back sprites, or I don't even know if we can call them sprites. These are the back side of look at how happy your character model looks. He's just standing there with the biggest smile on his face. Oh my gosh. But we have the very first look at our 3 starters here. Obviously water on the left side, fire in the middle, and grass on the right, and your minds are about to be blown. Look at these guys. Okay, so I wasn't super blown away. Actually, no, I was. I'm not gonna lie. I was freaking out about the guy in the middle. I'm like every other generic person. The gosh darn starter in the middle appeals to, look, I'm wearing red and black right now. Of course I'm gonna love that starter. But as I stared at this screenshot for the past 15 minutes, I really started to fall in love with this owl. I'm not gonna lie, water starter on the right, he's a clown. He literally is a clown. He's a clown. It looks like a clown otter or clown seal, what have you. We don't know just yet. So let's keep going. Now we got the front side of our starters right here. Once again, you can see how happy. Okay, so look at this. Look at the emotions that you can see in these starters. Happy-go-lucky seal. Honestly, you look a little, the kitty looks a little mad. He looks a little grumpy, literally Garfield. And then the owl just has no freaking clue where he is right now. And I love it. I love the fact this owl looks so clueless. Koopabarro. Okay, so we see Koo. That's that owl right there. And if you watch the trailer, you'll actually see him spin his head around. It's really, really cool. I really love this owl. And can you look at the text box really quick? It's such a small detail, but I really appreciate it. Just the pattern in the text box, those triangles, it just gives a really smooth feel to the game. It just adds to it. So I just noticed that now, actually. I think it's really, really cool. Probably just something so minute, and I shouldn't be talking about it for more than 5 seconds. And we're going! Rowlet, the grass flying owl. Rowlet. So you can see him right here. If you guys watch, you'll get to see him use, which honestly, it looked like Leech Life, or it was probably just Absorb. What am I saying? It was definitely Absorb. But right now you can see it's a much smaller screenshot, but the background looks really crisp, a little bit more or the same detail as X and Y, possibly even the same detail. No, not as X and Y, as Oris. Feels a lot like Oris because of all the green, but I'm excited for when we get to other parts of the game. We really only see the green stuff on this island, but I'm sure there's going to be, I mean, if you're on an island, there's going to be volcano scenarios, which is going to be really, really cool. There's going to be hopefully some scenarios where you're focusing more on the sky at night. That would be really cool. But grass flying is our, and that was what initially disappointed me with the starter. It's another grass flying mon. Is there a single competitive grass flying mon? I know Tropius is good in its tier, what have you, but like, you're setting this little guy up for failure, and that's exactly why he looks like he's going to get picked on for the rest of his life. He's grass flying. He's actually, spoilers, the only dual typed starter in the entire game. But we'll move on now. We have, of course, we have this Akatsuki looking kitten wearing the colors of the ShadyPenguinn. Totally cool. Honestly, love this guy. I think he looks amazing. I'm really excited to see what each of these Pokemon evolve into, specifically the owl, because I'm really expecting like straight up out of Zelda, whose name I always mess up, Kupabaro, I think it is, but I always mess up that name. Forgive me, all you Zelda fans. I'm a Zelda fan too. I'm just ignorant. This kitty looks awesome. Meow is just, so something important that I wanted to point out was a lot of people were speculating if Pokemon would say their names the way that Pikachu did in X and Y, or in Oris. I believe it was in both. Maybe it was just in Oris. But these starters have cries in the trailer that you'll hear, and then you'll see that little text box. So they're not saying their name. There are still cries in Pokemon, which for me, I think that's great. I want no names. I kind of do and I kind of don't. It's a mixed basket for me. I personally would prefer not to have their names said. What would you guys want? Would you guys prefer that if every Pokemon said their name, or if every Pokemon just had their cry? Because like, I mean, I think some people get triggered by the fact that Pikachu gets to say his name and no one else does. But let me know in the comments below. That's Shady question number 1. So we can see here, a Litten using Ember. So a lit kitten. I mean, everyone's gonna make that joke. This kitten is literally lit, and it's gonna happen, and there's nothing we can do about it. It is what it is. We have to go though. We have to go to the next starter, because this is where. Really quick, I love, you can see in the character art, there's no spikes. When Litten attacks, those spikes come out of its back. So you can only imagine what it's gonna evolve into, like some crazy flames or what have you. So it's gonna be pretty cool. This guy. Bark. Really? Look at how happy he is though. You really can't get mad at him. I mean, I wanted to like this guy. I really do, because of how joyous he is. He just represents happiness despite being the color blue. But you guys can see Poplio here. I'm guessing that otter? Poplio? I'm thinking that's I'm so bad. Dude, the only animal I know that deals with like the cold and water is a penguin, clearly. So I don't know if this is an otter or a seal. Either way, similar to both. I think it's like a fusion of them. But the water animation, when this Pokemon uses water gun, is super crisp. Super crisp. I love it. It definitely looks enhanced. And look at those rocks. Look at those rocks, man. Pretty intense if you ask me. But Poplio, pure water type. The clown, I'm guessing the clown seal, clown otter Pokemon, what have you. But there's actually artwork of Poplio balancing Rowlet on his nose in a bubble, so it's pretty cute. You guys can dig around for that for sure. But that's Poplio, our water starter. The next scene, of course, now just goes back to you running around in this region. By the way, we have to remember the name of that region. It's it's not Aloha, because that's what I'm always going to want to say. It's the Alola region. So we have our character running around the Alola region. You can see that there's, I don't want to say tribal, but, you know, like Hawaiian-looking pillars all over the place with the trees. It's looking really, really scenic. Right here we get a shot of the sun in the sky and what could potentially be our mother in a yellow skirt. Hello. Like, I really like this screenshot. I don't know why. I really wanted to save this one just because we get an image of her mom. We can confirm, not that there is no father in the picture, but once again, your mom is your best friend in this game. Well, I shouldn't say your best friend, but pretty much, you know, she's your traveling companion. I love the screenshot of the sun just because it's daytime. I'm assuming that if you played at night, that'll be a screenshot of the moon, and just the play on sun and moon is really, really cool to me. I guess I'm weird. We get a nice shot of a city-looking area by the beach. I'm assuming to be the second town in the game, possibly the third, but I'm gonna go ahead and go with second. We see a couple cars. There was a lot of theory videos that this region was going to be based off of Hawaii, off of something tropical. Specifically T-Tube, I believe, uploaded a bunch of them, and he was 100% right. Like all those trucks and those, when they originally announced Sun and Moon, they showed trucks, they showed some floral patterns, they showed that one area, which we haven't seen in this trailer again, by the way, guys. That area they had shown originally when they leaked Sun and not leaked Sun and Moon, when they announced Sun and Moon, and it had like the fountain, and it was a really beautiful building. That we haven't seen that in this trailer. I don't know if we do. I really don't think we do. The next screenshot, just an overview of what I believe to be the starting town. You guys can see the center platform. That's where the professor originally threw the Pokemon for you, if that is the professor. Where Old Man Jenkins, where Tito, we're gonna call him Tito, where Tito threw the Pokemon. So this is an overshot or an overview of the starting town, what I believe to be the starting town. Our next screenshot, we see this man run up to you in the trailer. He's looking like Jacob from Twilight decided to go on vacation and thin out, because just look at this guy. Wait, whoa. Look at this guy. Look at him standing there. I thought I had a smiling screenshot of him. I guess I don't. I'm gonna put a smiling screenshot. You can see the big grin on this guy's face. There he is. You can see this guy just looking kind of, he's looking like he's having a good time. So potentially our rival, I'm assuming that would make the most sense for sure. Then we have the game goes through a little bit showing you that yes, there's a female character selection. It shows her with each of the starters. I'm just pulling up one of them because it's a little bit monotonous. There's no reason to do that. To show each one, but once again, you can see attention to detail, some flowers in the background. She's wearing some teal shorts, which once again, I really think are gonna be customizable. No idea what that hat is, absolutely no idea. And then we go to possibly the most hype part of the entire trailer. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this beast. Look at this. This is the Sun Legendary. I don't know his name because I wasn't sure if those trademarks were legit. I'm not going to confirm them that way. I really don't know, but this is the Sun Legendary. It's basically Aslan. It's Aslan from Chronicles of Narnia, and this is when I jumped out of my bed right here. I was like, "What?" Because look at this guy's face. Get up close and personal. What's really cool about this is that he's the Sun Legendary for the game. He's on the cover art of the Sun box. Look at the stars in his eyes, literally in the mask around his eyes. So I was originally Team Moon. Then I saw this guy, and I had nothing but regret when I jumped out of my bed. I was like, why did I go Sun? Look at this guy. He's so freaking awesome. I can't wait to see him battle. Honestly, like thinking about Uber's matches with him, pretty hype. And then, of course, we have our Moon Legendary, which then I came right back down. I was like, you know, it's fine. It's fine. I don't have a lion, but I got a bat. And we don't have too many. I mean, the thing is about bat Pokemon is we got a new bat last gen. We had bat, obviously, Gen 1. Bats are a weird thing, but look at, like, the design of this Pokemon is absolutely crisp. Literally has star-like objects hanging off the bottom of its wings. This represents the moon so much to me. You can even see the shape of the, I don't want to call those like they're not claws. I don't know what they're. The outside of his wings, whatever. Like you could totally see the moon shape coming through. And then look at him using. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that move. That's what I got back hype for Batman basically, because that's literally the bat signal right there. That is the bat signal. Hashtag bat signal. So my second shady question for you guys, which legendary do you like more? Are you an Aslan or are you a Batman? Let me know in the comment section below for sure. I still don't know where I stand. I think they're both freaking awesome. Their designs are phenomenal. I already want to see the shiny versions. That's just how I am. I really just want to see their shiny versions right away. So the last screenshot, well, I shouldn't say the last screenshot. We're going to go to this. So in the beginning of that trailer, something that I skipped over originally because I wanted to save it towards the end was a screenshot of most of the region. You guys can see it's most of the region, but you can see the starting town up on that top left because you can see that platform. I know it's pretty small. There's a cave down there and a little, I want to say a little getaway, but a little lagoon almost. And you can see the route. You can see that city that I was taught that you see originally, the second one. But if you look at this, it looks like maybe there's a total of 3 or 4 towns, maybe 3, just in this small screenshot. So the region has to be a lot bigger. Or, and here's my theory on it, that you travel to different islands. So I think that we're gonna get a little bit of an Oris feel with a lot of ocean travel, or maybe not. Maybe not, but I don't think that the screenshot that they showed, either A, this island is much bigger than what they showed, or B, you travel to multiple regions. Now, I shouldn't say multiple regions, multiple islands. Now, I did say multiple regions because I still kind of think, considering how close the engine is to X and Y, and the fact that this is the Paradise region, Alola, like this is the Paradise region. Is this absolutely perfect for Volcanion? Yes, 100%. Like this only makes sense. It only makes sense that Volcanion is going to be involved in this region somehow. Obviously, the movie that's coming out, very different, has nothing to do with the Alola region, what have you, but I think that they are going to involve Volcanion somehow in this region. With that being said, do I think that there's a chance that you go from the Paradise region to the Beauty region, back to Kalos? I do think so. I really think that that's a possibility. I'm not going to say that it's definite. It's what I hope for. I really do hope that we travel back to Kalos, because then it'll give more purpose to Zygarde, and it just makes sense. Like, people that live in a beautiful place would then travel like on vacation to the Paradise region. So I'm kind of feeling that that's going to be a possibility. Like I said, either I really think you're going to be traveling between islands, which honestly I loved, like the 7 islands in Fire Red Leaf Green. So I'm totally down for some island travel, especially with this overhaul of graphics. But more importantly, I really hope and I really think that we'll be traveling to Kalos. That's my third question for you guys. Do you think that we will be traveling back to Kalos in this game? To me, I think I could sit here and try to plead a case between the fact that Zygarde needs more story, the fact that Volcanion was found in X and Y, but they decided, you know what, no, we're gonna hold off on that. We don't really have a right spot for it. Bam, Hawaii is the perfect spot for a volcano. And then at that point, would we just travel back to Kalos because Kalos really didn't get that much time to shine, in my opinion? I would hope so. I think they have it right there, and there's something special to me about Gen 7. Just the number 7, 6th gen just changed the game completely. There's not too much change between this and between X and Y and Sun and Moon, at least to me. Like I said, it looks like the game's gonna run a lot smoother, which is great. No drop frames, hopefully, when we have 4 legendary beasts in the field. But I really feel like they would want to travel back to Kalos because, like I said, Volcanion, Zygarde needs more story. Beauty region and the Paradise region make perfect sense just to go together. So we'll see what happens. That's kind of my breakdown. Of course, now one of the most important things about this is that the game is available November 18th, 2016. That's just about 6 months and 8 days away. 6 months and 8 days away from today's date. Not entirely accurate because 30 days has September, blah, 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 April, June, and November. The only thing I do want to say is that I want to apologize to all of our European buddies because you guys don't get the game until November 23rd, I believe it is. So 5 days after the US or the North American release, which I think is, you know, it just kind of sucks. Obviously, it doesn't affect me, and I'm not going to pretend like it does, but I guess a global release was just too hard for them to go through again. Like I said, even right there, X and Y, they literally said, bam, global release. This is the game that's changing the game. And now they're just like Sun and Moon. No more global release. So it is what it is. I completely understand though. I understand that a global release is probably insanely hard to do. Well, I don't even know if X and Y was a global release. Now I'm thinking about it. I think Japan may have gotten it earlier. No, we got it the same day. I remember that. Because I had a Japan. Yep, I remember. Okay, so that is pretty much a breakdown of the trailer. I know you guys wanted my reaction, overall reaction. And now this is I have one more question for you guys. My 4th question. Are you hype? So originally I really wasn't. As I started, once I watched the trailer the first time, I was like, okay, let me watch it again. Maybe something will stir me. None of the starters super jumped out at me right away. Eventually I fell in love with the owl, like I told you guys, but none of them jumped out at me. The only thing that really jumped out at me right away was the lion. That was the first thing. And then I kept watching, like, yo, I like this bat too. And then I was like, wow, this region looks amazing. Geez, did you see the way that water gun looked? It looked super smooth. Wow, look at the running. They're Yeagly, I'm Yeagly. Full body models. This is incredible. So I started getting more and more hyped to see where this is going to take us. I'm really interested in the story because when you have the Paradise region, you know that things have to go wrong. Something has to go wrong in the Paradise region in order to make for a good story. So I am hyped for this game now. I'm really excited. Just thinking about getting back into Wi-Fi battling with this. I mean, I'm gonna be doing some more Wi-Fi battles on the channel soon via AI Gaming, but just thinking about the meta that's going to change, the brand new adventure we get to go through together, the story. There's no inkling of the story yet, and that gets me so excited. The possibility of traveling back to Kalos or on multiple islands, which will still be really cool. Really hoping for that Kalos though. That's going to be it for my trailer breakdown. If you guys enjoyed, please show some shady love. That really does help a lot. And of course, if you're not subscribed yet, click that subscribe button down below. We have so much Pokemon content going on, and we will have a fire playthrough of Sun and Moon. Have yourselves a good day, but above all else, keep it shady.